Hey everybody, today I would like to share with you my healing testimony. Now, shortly after I was born, my parents took me in for my first doctor's appointment. And while I was there, the doctor discovered that I had a heart murmur. But he didn't know how serious it was, so he told my parents to take me to a specialist. So they took me to the Children's Hospital to have some tests run, and it was discovered that I had multiple heart defects and that I would need surgery because one of the defects I had could not heal on its own. Unlike some defects that can heal on their own as a child grows up, I had one that couldn't. Now, during this time, my mom claimed Christ, but she was not yet born again. However, she did know that Jesus heals. So, in accordance with James 5:14, she and my father took me to the elders to have me anointed with oil in the name of the Lord. And while I was there, the pastor prayed that the Lord would heal my heart and that when I grew up, I would give my heart back to the Lord. Now, my mom was told by the doctors to schedule open heart surgery for me while I was still a baby, but she just flat out didn't. She still took me to checkups, so they could watch how I was growing, and do stats and things like that to make sure everything else was okay. But when it came to my heart, she was just trusting the Lord for that. It was finally when I was 4 years old that the Lord compelled my mom to take me back to the Children's Hospital for tests. So my parents took me back, and we were there from 6 a.m. All day doing tests. And I vividly remember lying on the table with the as the nurse put the cold gel on my chest as she was doing the ultrasound. That is a vivid memory for me. And I ended up falling asleep on the table. But anyway, we were there all day long. Tests were being run. And that evening, my parents and I were in the exam room waiting for the doctor to come in. And the door was open. And my mom heard the doctor's voice say to one of the nurses in the hall, in a very mocking tone, he said, "Well, we have another Jimmy Swaggart." And my mom was kind of puzzled by this comment because she had never talked about Jimmy Swaggart, and she hadn't even told the doctor that she was trusting the Lord for my healing. But anyway, the doctor came down the hall and entered into the exam room, and he said to us, "I know you're tired and that you've been here all day, but the reason why it's taken so long is because we have searched for her heart defect and we cannot find it." And my mom just burst into tears at that moment, and she said to the doctor, she said, "But you told me," and she was going to finish her sentence with, "You told me that this couldn't heal on its own." But before she even got that far, he just said, "I know what I told you, and I have no explanation for it. Just thank God." And we did, and I do to this day. I'm just so thankful for what he's done in my life and for healing me of that, and that the pastor's prophecy was true, that I grew up and I gave my heart back to the Lord, and it's just so beautiful. And I'm just so thankful that Jesus heals, and I just wanted to share that with you today. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.